everybody, and welcome to another episode of VETchat. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by a brand new guest, Sam Williamson, and we're going to be discussing the wonderful world of business startups. But before you hear from Sam, let me tell you a little bit about her. Sam is currently the director of both Samaxia Ltd and SRW Consulting Limited, with a background spanning over 25 years in healthcare, encompassing both human and veterinary sectors. Sam has a passion for leadership and expertise in management, which has been evident as she has steered diverse teams over the past 2 decades. Sam had a significant tenure at Animal Care UK, serving as the general manager for over 3 years. Her forward-thinking leadership style, emphasis on customer relationships, and strategic approach to brand management and product prioritization are indicative of her business acumen. Sam recently founded Samaxia Ltd, a pet health distribution firm that marries the dual principles of pet well-being and sustainability. Samaxia is committed to offering the UK market top-tier non-prescription pet health products that are not only effective but reasonably priced, and also resonate with the company's environmental ethos. Finally, with SRW Consulting, Sam has broadened her horizons, delving into diverse areas both within and beyond the veterinary realm. She is aiding a new spin-out business in introducing pioneering technology in the canine oncology field. So welcome, Sam. Thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
So that was quite an introduction.
It's quite a lot of words.
Yeah. So the topic of our podcast today is all around navigating startup life. And it's something I've really been looking forward to talking to you about. So to start, could you tell me a little bit about your personal journey with starting your own businesses?
Yes, of course. Well, it all started probably about 2.5 years ago when I was still working animal care. And during that time, there just always felt as if there was something missing. And I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point, but there's lots going on in my life. I was getting close to turning 50. My daughter was having a baby. I was menopausing and all of these great things. And I remember it was about 18 months ago when I chose to be big, to be bold and to be brave and make the decision to leave animal care, not quite knowing what I was going to do, other than I needed to do something that really stuck with my values. And that took me down the path of becoming a consultant, setting up my consulting business, whilst I really evaluated what I really wanted to do. And over the course of the last 18 months, I've continued really stretching myself as a consultant in the veterinary industry. But then during that journey and through one of the projects, I was at London Vet Show last year, and an old contact of mine when I was at Animal Care found me and asked me to look after a project that she wanted me to work on. And that also included looking for a distribution company. Right. And that's when I thought, after a little bit of reflection, why am I looking for somebody else? Why don't I do it myself? Mm-hmm. I really thought, this is possible. I'm not quite sure how to do it, but it can't be that difficult. I'm surrounded myself with lots of great people. I've had lots of great experiences. I've run pretty much a distribution company for the UK. I'm sure I can make this happen. And that was how it all started. So it started at London Vet Show last year, and we're about to launch at London Vet Show this year.
Wow. So it's been quite a 12 months.
It's been an amazing 12 months. It's had its challenges, it's had its ups and downs, but it's been that real belief that I can make it happen. And the why really felt was really important, because I realized that I wanted to do this not just for me, but also for my family. I wanted to leave a legacy to my children. I wanted them to have something that if they chose to, they could run with it as well. Yeah. There's nothing more powerful if you really understand your why.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about Samaxia.
Well, I mean, Samaxia itself is a pet health distribution company. Our first supplier we've partnered with is a French company that provide pet healthcare products. Haven't launched in the UK, so we're their distributor. And it's going to be one of those great organizations where you can deliver quality through identifying great businesses that haven't yet come to the UK, but also sitting with our values, which really just focus on the environment. And we know that in this industry, it's really difficult to have 100% environmental green products out there. But to partner with companies that have the same sort of ethos as we have and the same values enables us to make some strides into entering a marketplace with top quality products that do have that environmental consciousness about them. And the name Samaxia came about again. It was a little while ago, again, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when we were having a bit of fun one night and we're saying, well, if you had your own business, Mum, what would it be called? And we're jesting around with names and everything. And we ended up coming up with the name Samaxia, as I said, 3 or 4 years ago, by having my name, Sam, my son's name, Max, my daughter's called Sophia, and that's how we came up with Samaxia.
Aww, how lovely.
We did dabble with calling it Samaxin, because we could have had my husband's name in there, but then we thought it sounded too much like a drug. So Samaxia it was, and there we are now. A year on, we've got a wonderful startup business that's hopefully going to flourish.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. That's amazing. And hopefully your husband doesn't mind being left out too much.
Well, we tell he's the silent partner.
Love it. So what would you say the main motivations were that kind of took you down the entrepreneurial path?
Well, I mean, other than what we've just talked about, those driving factors, and spending so much time on reflecting what made me happy, what goals did I have outstanding, what ambitions and dreams did I still want to live. I've always been driven by a desire to make a difference. And again, being big, bold and brave is a real mantra that stuck with me through the years. And taking that first step, making the decision to leave a well-paid, well-thought-of career and doing it on my own, that's what really sparked the drive.
Brilliant. And you said briefly earlier, there have been some challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Is there any of them that you'd like to share?
Wow. I mean, the challenges are there have been challenges, and I know that there will be challenges more to come as well. The biggest challenge that I've always struggled with, just as being me, is when people say no to me. So when I first wanted to become a medical rep 25 years ago, I was told, no, you can't do that. You don't have a degree. You don't have a medical background. You can't do it. So I went out there and I got 3 job interviews and I got 3 job offers. I thought, then I was told you can't be a sales leader. I don't know why, but that was something that stuck with me. So I became a sales leader, and then I made my way, took my journey up the ladder, and I enjoyed every aspect of that. So my first hurdle that I really had when I left animal care was that my husband said no. He's self-employed, so he didn't like the concern of having no guaranteed income. So I had to convince him. I'd really sell the fact that, you tell me you believe in me. Now you've really got to show me how much you believe in me. I believed in me. I knew I could make a difference. I knew I could do something. I just didn't know what it was. And I had skills, I had talents, I had an ability to do what I needed to do. But the most important one is that I had the passion to win. I had the passion to believe in myself. So the challenges that I faced personally, the main ones were when I was told no. And even more recently, even last week, sometimes you have to also battle with your head. And I think sometimes you just lose belief. And that happened last week, that close to launch. And I just had to, and I was fortunate actually, it was last Thursday. And I just woke up and I thought, am I doing too much? Is this too much? Can I really make this happen? Being this close, it was ridiculous. But in my headspace, that really, really sat with me. But in the afternoon, I'd already got in my diary a team coaching session, which I participate in. And the actual topic of conversation was focus. And it couldn't have been timed better. sit with a group of entrepreneurial business owners who'd all chosen the topic around focus and keeping on track, just helped me to get back to where I needed to be in my headspace. And then we're back to normal again. But every now and then, just human, you get those dips. And they're the challenges that I struggle with it every now and then. Physical things, products not coming in, contracts taking time, all those things you can deal with. Just when something just comes a little bit bolt out of the blue that is a bit difficult.
Yeah. And I guess as well, because you are massively stepping out of your comfort zone, you know, there's always that, you know, it's a big risk that you're taking, you know, there's always that fear as well, I guess, isn't there, with what's to come and the uncertainty. What sort of advice would you have for people who might be listening, who are maybe considering doing their own thing, you know, but are a little bit hesitant to take the first step?
Definitely believe in yourself, believe in your vision. You hear it all the time when people talk about every journey starts with a single step, but it really does. And yes, there'll be challenges, but the rewards outweigh those challenges. We had a family powwow session. I'm sure every family has family powwow sessions every Sunday. I've never come across it before, but we decided a few months ago we'd have a powwow session to see how, as a family, got a daughter who's married, a son who's come out of university, how can we ensure that we have financial freedom in the next 3 to 5 years, not to be confused with being millionaires. Let me make that clear. This is just how do we, in this crisis of financial management, see if we can have a life where we're not worried day to day. And from that, I saw my son step up from being my little boy into a man who was ready to take his first step on the ladder of having a career. And I'd never thought about having him come and work with me. And having him come and work with me has really, really helped me to stay focused, to believe in myself, but also to actually recognize that it is a risk. It is difficult doing it, but having your family supporting you really adds value. So having 100% support from my family, having a great team around me. My team are a networking team. They're not employed by us at the moment. We have a great accountancy firm. We have a great virtual assistant. I'd love a permanent assistant, but I can't afford it at the moment. I haven't started making revenue yet. So you have to use your money wisely, but also having a super business mentor as well and a coach. Again, just touching out around you where you can to make sure you've got that support is what's really helped me, and I really hope would help other people when they're taking their first steps into achieving their goals and their dreams.
Brilliant, that's great advice. And what are some of the sort of key skills and traits do you think you just have to make this work?
You have to have resilience, because you are going to have doors closed on you every day. I remember when I was 13, my mum and dad used to have a double glazing company. So I've been in sales my whole life. You'd never guess. And they used to push me down people's drives to knock on their doors and try and get appointments for them and give them a brochure. So I'm used to having doors slammed in my face physically. So resilience, number one. Adaptability. You really have to be able to move and be nimble, and that's really important. Having that clear vision, so knowing what you want to achieve. But as I said, you need to be adaptable. It needs to flex and change. And the one that really sticks with me is really being customer focused. So believing that everything you're doing is for the greater good of your customer. And your customer doesn't have to just be the people that are buying your boxes or your bits and pieces. They can be your internal customers. So having that customer centricity has always been one of the core values that I really do believe in. Okay.
And I think what you mentioned before as well, you know, from my sort of experience with the webinar vet, is just having that focus, especially at the start, and just being like super laser focused on what it is that you want to do and what you want to achieve. And because obviously when you start a business, especially like super early on, you're just wearing a million different hats, aren't you? You know, like you said before, you can't afford to have a massive team to support you. How would you say, or do you have any tips around how you manage your time effectively on your different responsibilities as a business owner?
I've got better at it. There's a lot of juggling that goes on, and I've got a busy life. I said, I've got children, I've got a husband, I've got a mother, I've got a granddaughter. We are busy people. I've even got a dog who at the moment is in his crate. That's why he's not barking, so that's always great. But prioritization and delegation. So you need to prioritize on your important, and we will talk about important, urgent, not important. Focus on your important. Make sure that you have people that you are able to delegate some things to. So if you are able to have an assistant or a virtual assistant, so you've got the flexibility, trust them and let them do their job. These are paid professionals. Whoever you're paying money to do a job, let them do it. So remember to delegate. It's essential to build that reliable team who share your vision and are able to take on some responsibilities, allowing you to focus on your strategic growth. So, I'm looking forward to bringing more people into our business so that I can learn to let go, and I can allow people then to do the do. So then I can then start doing some of the more strategic areas. What I want is to be able to have a team that are empowered to see my vision and to carry it forward and to make it even bigger and even better. Mine's an acorn. Somebody else will take the acorn and build it into a big oak tree, and that's what I want them to do. It may be my son, it may be my daughter, it may be somebody completely different.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's super, super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. Take an acorn and build a tree.
Yeah.
It's great. Fab. And do you think you've got a good work-life balance at the moment? Possibly not the best time to ask you just before your lunch.
No, I mean, if you'd seen me on Saturday, yes. If you saw me yesterday, no. And it is a juggle, it is a battle. But the difference is it's on my terms. It's on my terms. It's what I choose to do. I never, ever have and never will expect people to have my work-life balance, because my work-life balance suits me, and that's fine. But I still have to set clear boundaries. I have to remember to take time for myself. I have to remember to go out for a walk, and having my dog allows me to do that because he doesn't like sitting inside a lot. He likes to go on his couple of walks a day. But also I need to, for me, I have to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym and get that 1 hour every few days in the gym where I think of nothing but just finishing that gym class, then I'm screwed. I really am. Spending time with my family, having a granddaughter has also been a huge distraction to me. It's been amazing. It's another reason why I have to stop everything, because when you've got a little 2-year-old running around, you can't be a business person. You have to be grandma. The work-life balance, it finds a way of finding you.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that if you are going to the gym and you're doing all those things, it helps, build your resilience and keep, your stress under control as well. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. And you touched upon it before. I was really keen to ask you around mentors and support networks. And you mentioned earlier that you're part of like a group. Have you got any more to share around that for us?
Yeah, I mean, I started off when I first left animal care and I decided I was going consulting. I joined a business network group. And from there, I discovered a coaching network group in the area. And that's been amazing. Having somebody who holds you accountable every 2 weeks to turn up no matter what, because you are investing time in you and you have to turn up.
Mm-hmm. That
has been absolutely brilliant. And out of that, I've developed friendships, but not only friendships, they're a supportive group of ladies as well. So, we're all from very different backgrounds, very different businesses in very different stages. But that has been absolutely invaluable. It really has. And also, I have a great mentor. He's a local businessman. And, I know that if I have a challenge, I can pick up the phone just to talk to him. And it's just having an extra pair of ears.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know our industry. He doesn't understand veterinary. But just to be able to talk business talk to somebody who's not emotionally attached has really helped as well. So coaching, mentoring, if you can find a network within the industry that supports you as an individual or you as a business, then find it, because there's nothing better than sharing a problem, sharing a challenge. Solutions are always available. It's just helping somebody to or getting somebody to help navigate you to that solution.
Yeah, brilliant. And we did a podcast a while back around allies and mentors and things as well. And I remember one of the key takeaways I took from that is that it can even just be like your friends and your family. You know, they don't have to be traditional mentors as such.
Yeah.
It can just be anybody around you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. And it was a really good point that you mentioned as well about just having somebody to hold you accountable for things if you say you're going to do them, you know, just keep you focused on making sure that
having a mentor, you know, particularly when you're in the early stages of your business, just allows you to know that they will help, or they hold you accountable to make sure that you set those clear, measurable goals. They will push you to keep that strategic focus where it needs to be. And, you know, if you're a new startup or any business, really, growth's important. So, you know, having somebody that holds you accountable and keeps asking you, well, why are you doing that? What are you going to get out of it? Have you considered doing something else? It's fabulous.
And then just looking at the kind of veterinary landscape, bringing it back to the veterinary profession, obviously it's constantly changing at the moment. What are your hopes for the future?
Well, obviously innovation is important. Yeah, I welcome new innovation coming into the industry, and I've seen some of that, as I said, with some of the project work that I'm doing, particularly in oncology. Stronger emphasis on sustainability. We hear about it a lot, but we still need support in this industry to help us to be more sustainable, particularly as suppliers and manufacturers. And also within the industry, it'd be great to see increased regulatory. So not just on your pharmaceuticals, but on equipment, on non-prescription products, to ensure that you've got that uniformity. You know, so there is a benchmark of what is accepted in the marketplace. And finally, I guess, you know, more collaboration across the sectors to ensure, you know, that there are always going to be improved outcomes for pets, pet owners, as well as our vets and vet practices.
Brilliant. Yeah. And with the sustainability, as you know, the webinar vet, you know, Anthony does a lot around sustainability, and yeah, hopefully it is something that will, you know, continue to be more prominent in the veterinary profession completely. And I think what you do with Samaxia is just wonderful as well.
Yeah. Well, we're getting there. It'll be the vision's there, and we've got to deliver the vision. We need help to do that as well to make it even bigger.
Yeah. Fantastic. We're just running out of time, but I was just going to ask as well, a lot of the feedback we get from our listeners is, you know, they want additional resources, you know, it can be books, anything at all, you know, is there any way you'd like to kind of signpost people to if they are interested in, you know, starting a new business or just anything entrepreneurial in general?
The book that sticks out that I've used as references, or just to try and inspire my thought process, is an old book, but it's almost like Good Housekeeping, but in veterinary market or business markets, I suppose. And that's the CEO Toolkit by Jim Canfield. So, you know, he's an American business guru, and yeah, I've met him, but I've read his book. It's got podcasts. It's a really easy to read. You can dip in and out of it. The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett, I've also enjoyed listening to as well. And then, you know, just for some light joy when you're walking the dog, the podcast by Chris and Rosie Ramsey, the husband and wife, they just make me chuckle. Yes. And I like that. Sometimes you just need something where you hear a bit of bickering going on and you think, oh, I've been like that too. It's like reading Cosmo, but you banned, you know, because of all the arguments that reading Cosmo can cause in a household. Very from the 1990s.
Lovely, thank you. And if people wanted to reach out to you, Sam, directly, are you happy for them to do so? Is LinkedIn the best place, or how's
LinkedIn,
that?
Yeah, follow my LinkedIn page. That'd always be great. Find me on LinkedIn, or just email me. You know, you can share my email details. It's not a problem.
Fantastic. And you will be at London Vet Show, won't you, if people are listening to this before?
We'll be on London Vet Show. We will be launching at Samaxia with our MP Labo product range on stand S56.
Fantastic. And then you're doing a webinar with the Webinar Vet as well, aren't you, in December?
Yes, there will be a webinar that is being delivered by Sarah Caney looking at hyperkalemia.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great, Sam. Thank you. We'll put everything that you've just mentioned, all the info in the blog that comes out with this podcast as well.
Thank you very much. Nice to be on this opportunity. Thank you.
Oh, you too. Thanks so much, Sam. Thanks, everybody. Bye.